One more match tonight in USL League One, and it features two new teams, scratching and clawing, trying to stay alive in the USL League One playoff race. It's Central Valley Fuego and Northern Colorado Hailstorm here on ESPN+. Welcome one and all to the broadcast. My name is Mark Schoenster. Looking forward to this one getting underway between these two sides. As we look at the standings, we finally have kicked some teams out of the playoff door. Fort Madison and North Carolina getting eliminated. These two sides looking to keep that from happening as this season goes on. Neither one can get eliminated, but a loss here is really a death sentence for the rest of this season. So, 3 points, a necessity. And on the Fuego side of things, one guy who could help him get there is Christian Cheney. Look at this wonderful hit he had last time they played at home from a set-piece situation. Then look at this hit. Might as well have been a dead ball situation. He hits it with such precision. He's starting to get everything clicking offensively. Northern Colorado are going to have their hands full with him because he can score with his boot, and he can also do this in the air. He's a big guy, 6'2", and he can fly. Christian Cheney will be getting fed all game. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, the love is getting spread around. 3 goals between Breck Evans and Irvin Parra, which may seem like an odd duo, but Breck Evans is the one between the two of them that has 2 goals from last week. He scored a brace against Union Omaha. Meanwhile, Irvin Parra was able to notch one in against the Greenville Triumph. But Evans, a center back, has 4 goals this season. So do not underestimate him on the offensive side of the ball, and it's not just off of corner kicks where he heads the ball in. He can put his laces through it. And then, of course, Irvin Parra, if you're not paying attention to him, then you're doing your team a disservice. Well, this one is going to be chock full of intensity. You're not going to want to miss it. On the other side of this break, we'll have the starting lineups and then the first half of the Fuego and the Hailstorm right here on ESPN+.
Stop it. Yo, roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
As we take you back to Fresno, it's Century Elementary having their choir open things up as we look at the procession. Again, Century Elementary singing their choir for the national anthem for Fan Appreciation Night presented by Dos Equis here at the Fresno Soccer Stadium, where the Fuego and the Hailstorm are preparing to do battle for the 3rd time in the series history, as these are 2 brand new USL League One clubs. As we first get a look at the blood moon from one of the times these two teams played, it's been sort of symbolic of the fire-ice combo here. We've seen the cold, we've seen the hot. First off, it was a thrashing of sorts between Northern Colorado and Central Valley in their first meeting. 4-1 was the final score. Marky Hernandez enjoying it. And we got some cold rain up in Colorado State. But it was Christian Taney who was cold as ice, putting this one away in added time, leveling the series at 1 apiece with this stoppage time goal as we look at the starting lineups. First off, the home side, Martin Vasquez going with the 4-5-1, which just suggests one thing. Let's funnel that ball to Christian Taney. Meanwhile, they're seeing the return of Sergio Chavez, or Jordan Chavez, however you refer to him. It's his 25th appearance. He wears the captain's armband for a reason. Vasquez was telling me earlier this week. He is undeniably the leader on that backline and the team as a whole. Meanwhile, for Ayman Zayed's side, a 3-5-1 with Marky Hernandez playing as a center attacking mid. Destin Norman and Norte Norti will drag back a little bit further and play more defensively, while Prentice and Rogers will control those wings on the outside. Norte Norti, more of a stabilizer on this side, but he's capable of scoring a goal or two himself throughout the season, so cannot overestimate any player on the pitch here today. They're all capable of scoring. These two sides both have that within their repertoire, from keeper to striker. Worth noting for the Hailstorm, this is their penultimate game. They've already played 28 matches, so they've got this one, and then they've got a game next weekend, and then they have to sit at home for the final weekend of action. I can't imagine how stressful that's going to be for them if they find themselves above the playoff line after all that's done, to then have to sit and hope that other results bounce your way. Meanwhile, Villian Bijev been a bit cold in the goal-scoring department recently, but his contributions have still been felt game in and game out. It'll be Fuego in red, Hailstorm in white. I think that's fitting. Our head official for tonight's match, Brandon Stevis, as he blows the whistle and we're underway. Two teams that need 3 points. Which one of them can claim it? Will either of them claim it? Let's find out. 84 degrees in Fresno, California for this final match this Saturday. We do have one more game tomorrow, which we'll talk about at halftime. There's Ayman Zayed. First year as the head coach for this brand new club. Tough challenge for his side to come over to California and get 3 points. But that's the mission. That's the necessity. Johan Peñaranda will play this on the ground once again, getting the starting nod. It's been a revolving door between him and Thomas Olsen throughout the season. Falk played to Ozzy Ramos. Want to build it up the pitch until it's knocked out off of Wolfgang Prentice, the loanee from the Oakland Roots. Bijev will pop that one over to the corner. Dai will keep it in bounds. He's been on a tear recently as well, but then a loose touch there betrays him. But some ferocity wins it back for the Fuego. Service comes in, but Rob Cornwall's there. That's Mitch North on his feet from the bench. Very much was a fan of that progression from his teammates in Central Valley. And then there's Martin Vasquez, also the head coach for the first-year side in USL League One. Of course, Central Valley Fuego has a bit of a roots here in Fresno. So although it's their inaugural year as this name, they have some history to them. The Fuego name has lived here in Fresno for quite a while as far as soccer is concerned. Now we're gonna get a corner kick. Corner kick brought to you by El Mexicano. Bijev, not a bad looking ball. That is a assured header from Breck Evans. So far, it's been Central Valley who have been trying to knock the ball around the attacking half. Here's the first foray into the other side for the Hailstorm. Hernandez will play this on goal himself, and will play it wide. Marky Hernandez getting just his 10th start of the year with the Hailstorm. Was an impactful sub off the bench this season when he's been healthy, and that's sort of been his role ever since he was introduced to USL League One back in 2020. But taking the reins in the starting 11 this go around, and will look to create chances for himself and for the two guys in front of him, Irvin Para and Trevor Ahmed. Last time we saw Central Valley, they were on a 2-game road trip over to the East Coast. They play the Richmond Kickers and then North Carolina FC on Wednesday. Talking about that road trip, Martin Vasquez mentioned that, first off, to check off both the boxes, he said we had a lot of respect for Richmond. Darren has them playing a great style right now, and we had some good moments against them, but then that red card came. So although we wanted 3 points, getting a point given the circumstances was good. And then we started well versus North Carolina. We had the ball, had some favorable stats backing us up, but we gave the ball up at the worst times. North Carolina punished them for it. That result really puts them in a much more precarious spot when it comes to trying to get into 6th place or better. That's Ofek Antman. And such a stellar keeper all year. Rogers, who is head and shoulders above everyone else in League One as far as the amount of crosses executed. And he puts another one towards the penalty area, and it's headed well off target. For Northern Colorado, their last outing was against Greenville at home, a 1-1 draw after being up a goal and a man up until added time. Jacob Labovitz threw a ball in, and Evan Lee was able to put it home. Crushing result for Northern Colorado. Got to talk to, it was Kevin Sawchak, the assistant coach for Northern Colorado, about some pressing topics, and regarding that game, he said both teams are trying not to lose, which is not exactly how we want to play, but it can happen, especially with where we're at in the season, where every team is so desperate for results, but even more desperate to not lose. Today, not losing is not enough for both the Hailstorm and for Central Valley. So I expect some numbers to get thrown one way or the other as we take a look at some of the results from earlier today. These two sides can't be happy with how the Charlotte-Chattanooga game resulted. Chattanooga getting 3 points, which it makes that number 6 line that much higher. It's crazy to think that we only are now in the month of October and a team, or two in this case, are finally eliminated. Smith plays it across the center. One player slipped, the other whiffed. And now here's Norte. No one's closing him down, so he'll take it further himself. He's got Para, and he'll give it to Para. Para still with it. And after a couple of stabs, he coughs up the ball, and Victor Falk will have it. And a little bit of an extra tap on that ball from Hernandez on the grounded Victor Falk after the play, but not noticed from our officiating crew, or either that or it was shrugged off. You can hear the drumming in the background. It's the last home game of the season for Central Valley. Naturally, that results in many clubs opting to do a fan appreciation night, and this club is no different. We saw the Central Elementary School choir, about 50 to 60 elementary school students singing the national anthem. We're also going to have alumni from this program as we have an opportunity here, but then a flag will go up, keeping Alexis Cerritos from getting a chance on goal. The moment Kanan went for Central Valley. And now Johan Peñaranda will look to send this one deep down the pitch. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official matchball supplier of USL League One. Choose what you play with at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select, League's choice, player's choice. From one free kick to another, Breck Evans will play this one back. At halftime, Fuego alumni, including players, coaches, and anyone else involved with the club, will be recognized. Going all the way back to Fresno Fuego FC. It also seems like we're going to have a dance-off between two fans and Fuego El Fox, which is the mascot, of course, for Central Valley. All right, another push from behind, a free kick for the Hailstorm. And there's a booking for Sharif Dai, his 8th yellow card of the season. And Brandon Stevis will issue his warning. So here's where Fuego will have to be on alert. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado Hailstorm will be itching to have a go. Such a great set piece team, Northern Colorado. Just cutting into M in there. You have a guy like Arthur Rogers at your disposal. That's going to help your chances on set pieces, and they have taken full advantage of that. Can they take advantage of it here, 10 minutes in? Waiting for the go-ahead. Rogers gets it. Sends it inside, it skips around. Bounces off of Leo Fulla and out for a goal kick. That's the kind of service you can expect, though, from Arthur Rogers, ever dangerous. Talking about this game, Martin Vasquez said they have to win, we have to win. So it's going to be a good show for the fans, and it's good for the game. That'll be a free kick for Central Valley. Continue by saying we have to respond after Wednesday's loss. We have shown in the recent past that we're capable of doing that. Like after a very disappointing result against Charlotte, we were able to turn around and put on a good performance against Madison. Whether you've done it in the past has no bearing on whether you'll do it now. So far, they've looked the more promising side. Now we're very early into this game now, so things can change at a moment's notice. Especially with the Hailstorm, who are so capable of bagging goals in dead ball situations. Never be too comfortable. So Martin Vasquez mentioned that both teams need to win. Kevin Sawchak also carried that sentiment, saying both of us going into the game are needing a win. He said, usually for road trips like this, we would have been more practical about our approach. So that ball's going to get knocked out for a corner kick. Knocked away by Arthur Rogers. Another El Mexicano corner kick for Villian Bijev to make his way over to. Here's Bijev. Low driving ball, bounces around. I think that came off of Breck Evans again. Bijev with another service, headed away. Now it's a collision there. I don't think there's any foul play. Oh. Brandon Stevens certainly thinks there was, though. Trevor Ammon. Get his 5th yellow card of the season. So here's a look at the corner kick. That was either Evans or Peñaranda. And then here's a look at the foul. And I guess it's the high boot. That's the part. That's the issue. Didn't quite catch that in the run of play, but the ref certainly did, so props to him. And now we're going to get a free kick. I don't see Christian Cheney there. He's not. He's standing next to Arthur Rogers, which is interesting. I guess it's not on the right side of the pitch for him to take a hit at it. Instead, it'll be Falk, who's also scored on set pieces, and Ozzy Ramos. It's Falk, and too much on it. You can't complain. If you're Christian Cheney there, Victor Falk has scored from spots in that general vicinity prior to this. Got a couple of great set piece takers on this Fuego side. On both teams, really. I mean, this could be a game that gets decided from a dead ball. Hopefully not the penalty kick variety. And here's a look at where these two teams sit at this moment. Again, only one more game for Northern Colorado after this, which is, I mean, that's unfortunate. I mean, it's how it goes. Every team plays 30 games. It's not like it's unfair. It's just we have an odd number of teams, so someone has to sit home on the final day. I wouldn't wish that on any of these teams. I mean, if you're gonna have to see it go, because that's the thing is they're gonna, given where they stand right now, the odds are, even if they win both of these matches, that they're gonna have to hope that other teams don't find positive results on that final day. Bijev with the cross inside, nodded away. And worth noting, Central Valley plays on Wednesday, but then won't play on the weekend, so they'll also watch as a lot of teams play, but they still have a game each of the weeks. Para is going to take this one from range. I know if Antman's able to handle it, but maybe not a bad take from Irvin Para. Currently has 12 goals this season, so right in the thick of it in the Golden Boot race, but given the fact that he only has this game and the next game to add to his tally, it may be a little out of reach of Terzaghi, who has 16. Currently tied in 3rd place with Keziah Sterling of Tormenta with 12 goals. As far as Northern Colorado is concerned, matching up with Central Valley, the team's focuses are on creating chances like they have been and slowing down Christian Cheney. This may be one of those moments. Dai plays it into the middle. And it blazes by Cheney's face. In the run of play, it's been all Fuego. Sharif Dait. It's also been a good spat of form as of late. Looking to provide some good service to the other man who has been on a goal-scoring tear. Could have potentially been a shot as well, but my impression is that wasn't the case. Here's Para with some room to run. He'll take it himself, and it skips wide. These efforts not too far off for Para. Northern Colorado trying to grow into this game, but they're not taking a lot of time. Once they're in the attacking half, they're going straight to goal and letting it fly. Not gonna dink around at all. So you need 3 points, whether you're Northern Colorado or Central Valley, which means you can't just sit on the game for its entirety. Sometimes if a game just doesn't come to you, then you're okay with just a point, a 0-0 draw or a 1-1 draw or something along those lines. But neither of these teams can take that luxury. Evans, Prentice, now Para. So when I talked to Martin Vasquez about how much risk-taking is he willing to throw at this game, he said, well, you have to look at the opponent and what happened last time we played this team. And he said the first match we tried to impose our game and they caught us in transition, lost 4-1. Here's the Hailstorm now. Para with the service, and it skips through. And Wolfgang Prentice with the goal right in front of his face, couldn't bring it down. Was looking for his first goal with the Hailstorm. It was a stretch for him to get to that ball. He didn't have the time to put in the extra effort to put that ball down and keep it on frame. It would have been really hard for Antman to save it. Now you're seeing Northern Colorado conjure up a couple more chances here. Again, they're not taking a lot of time with it. No nonsense attacking. No loitering in the attacking half for them. And that kind of feeds into what Martin Vasquez was talking about how they were catching Central Valley in transition. And then in the second game, they bunkered in, played very disciplined defensively, were able to get 3 points, though they were happy with getting 1 point. But it worked out. Cheney had a moment of magic. He said, so for me, we want to create a good plan, stick to it, set the tempo, and be careful sending numbers forward. So although they got to get 3 points, maybe he's trying to err more on the side of the result that got them 3 points last time these two teams played. And don't feed into what makes Northern Colorado strong, which is transition moments, and then of course set pieces, where in that case you just got to be smart in the run of play to not give them a handful of chances. That ball sails in and is caught by Peñaranda. Meanwhile, for the coaching staff for Northern Colorado, their keys to winning this one is to get behind Central Valley offensively, which you're seeing they're trying to hit it quick up the pitch. And then in transition moments, get back quickly, because Central Valley can send numbers forward. If they choose to, it will be a different story today. According to Kevin Sawchak, Fuego sat in a block last time they played, really hunkered down, and he doesn't think that'll be the case this go around. But I don't think it's as guns a-blazing as maybe people would have anticipated coming into the game, given the perspective Martin Vasquez had. But so far, both teams have conjured up moments. There's a move from Cerritos. Gets it to Cheney, who tried to give it back, but it didn't quite connect. Stevis having a talk to with Francois Dulis, commonly known as Frankie. Getting ushered to a corner, but he will win the throw-in for Northern Colorado. Hernandez trying to shake off Hornsby. He's doing well to keep up, and now he's got backup. Now Rogers sends in the cross. Headed on by Ammon. Now Parra. Parra shoots. It hits the side netting. Those are two guys that you do not want to see with the ball inside the 18 with some space. Trevor Ammon and Irvin Parra. 17 goals between the two of them. And then it's Arthur Rogers who is able to get the cross off. Ultimately, it turned into a worse scenario because Marky Hernandez, although all due respect to Hernandez as a player, if there was anybody you did not want to provide the service to either of those two players, it would be Arthur Rogers. So well done from Hernandez to draw in not only one but two players and give Rogers the freedom to let that ball swing in and give Northern Colorado a chance. And they have now created some quality moments. It'll just be a matter of execution and finishing it now. They keep up this pace. I think they'll find one in the back of the net sooner rather than later. Destin Norman, played over the left-hand side. Evans had that pass scuffed, and now it'll be Cerritos running the other way. Still Alexis Cerritos. It is a sea of white jerseys around him. Now Dait rolls that one across the goal line and out for a goal kick. Getting tripped up by Ramos there. Maybe a little bit of embellishment after the fact, but also could have been a cleat to the toe moment, and that could sting. Brandon Stevis is gonna have his hands full tonight. And as this game wears on, you know the desperation and intensity is gonna continue. Well, you know what? I was a little harsh. Ramos definitely swept through Parra there. Combos this year for Central Valley offensively has been the duo of Christian Cheney and Villian Bijev, two veterans who have played at the USL Championship level and have had success at that level. As Parra tries to connect with Prentice, making the cut. And here is Bijev. Plays it over to Smith. Smith leads Bijev on. Bijev still going with it. Back to the top for Smith. Lays it off. Rocketing shot off the crossbar. Ozzy Ramos let it fly. Now Cerritos winding about. Gets it to Hornsby. Another service. Cheney goes down. Nothing to come of it, though. Here's Prentice. And send Hernandez running. Hornsby's by him now. Marky Hernandez has Norman. He gets to Norman. Destin Norman to Hernandez, who pops a shot. And it falls into the hands of Antman. Parra was making the run behind him. Of course, Hernandez unawares of that, but ended up making the most of the ball coming to his feet anyway. Let's take a look at these last two chances. First, Bijev to Smith, who then knew that Ramos was behind him. Good work. Nearly a goal. And then look at that. Pop and fire from Marky Hernandez. He already scored a goal like that against Central Valley in that first meeting. Smith across the center. Here's Ramos to Cheney. Over to Bijev. Tried to parry it across. But he will get a corner kick as a reward for his efforts. So saw Cheney and Bijev connect there. Martin Vasquez said set pieces have gone really well for Cheney recently, and then he scores a beauty against North Carolina. He's getting more opportunities in games. Meanwhile, for Bijev, we want to create more chances for him, but he's been impactful regardless of his goal tally. He's been really happy with how both of them have performed. And now the two of them will load up into the box for this El Mexicano corner kick. The right-hand side, so Ozzy Ramos will provide the service. Also, shout out the fan providing a bottle of water of service for Ozzy Ramos. And now also get a fan assist on a soccer ball. Why not? It's fan appreciation night. And Ozzy Ramos appreciates their assistance. And that one fell into the hands of Peñaranda, who corrals it in. I think a very interesting conversation, and it could lend into this game depending on how everything breaks down, is in September, there was a significant uptick in penalties and red cards, fouls in general. And I think that many coaches had different perspectives that somewhat overlapped, but also provided interesting insight into why that was the case. But first, here's Rogers. Floats up that ball, and Smith heads it away. Let's look at that again. Well, first, thanks, kid. I'm gonna drink some of this water. How fun is that?
Go get yours today.
Norman, play it out wide. Evans, a zipping ball into the middle, and it's saved. Heads up, Ofik Antman. What a delivery and header from Evans to Prentice. In a split second, it was off his foot, off his forehead. But Ofik Antman, with cat-like reflexes, more than capable of catching it. And not only does he stop the goal, he catches the ball too. And my expression's the same as Wolfgang's expression, just a moment of shock and a wow, I can't believe that one didn't go in. Ofik Antman, third place with 7 clean sheets this season, behind the likes of Rashid Nuhu and Paul Christensen, who are tied for first with 9. Neither of them getting a clean sheet earlier today. Nuhu was on his way to one until Union Omaha conceded a goal late in the game, which ended up being crucial table-wise because they had a chance to really put themselves in a good spot for that second bye slot. Dye to Cheney. And he gets sandwiched, but a foul whistle is blown. And another free kick for Central Valley. Dye was taken down.
On this fan appreciation night, we want to give a shout out to Section 107, the rowdy fans in Section 107. Especially our favorite
Christian Cheney's over there now.
right there in row G. Thank you for being here.
We'll see if he gives the opportunity to take it. And just colliding. Could tell if that was Rob Cornwall or Leo Fola, but one way or another, the foul was called. He wasn't given the opportunity to score on the last set piece, but here's Christian Cheney. And he hit one from this spot. He takes the shot. Not a bad looking ball, but too much height on it. Man, though, when he hits it, it goes. I know that's not in-depth analysis, but you understand what I'm saying. It does not loiter about. I was talking earlier about the red cards and the penalty kicks and all the fouls. We haven't seen anything too scrappy yet here in this one. Kevin Sawchek thought that the reason for it is because games have been getting uglier just in general, first off, as this one slips through, but not enough for a moment for Northern Colorado to capitalize off of. Up and down the pitch we go. DJ bumping into Evans. It's going to be a free kick. Recent games have been uglier, and according to Kevin Sawchek, assistant coach for Northern Colorado, he says that one mistake can lead to losses and drop points, so the intensity has been higher, which is resulting in more recklessness. Meanwhile, Martin Vasquez said that the games have been competitive and tough all season long, but it's crunch time now. And he mentioned in our last two, we need to get 3 points, and that adrenaline and urgency makes it more tense. And then he also talked about how there are certain players that stand on the edge with their play, and throughout the season, they have to opt whether they're going to take a risk or not, especially during moments like last man challenges. And now players are just defaulting to taking them because they have to. They have to get 3 points. They have to make those tackles. They have to make those challenges because 3 points isn't just the ideal, it's the necessity. Of course, we hope to not see either red cards or PKs here today. But I think we'd all benefit from a high-intense, high-octane game, which so far both these teams have gone blow for blow. Neither team has scored yet. Worth noting, Northern Colorado already has an expected goal of 1.15. They have already created several quality chances. And they've been good in that regard in the expected goals category, but expected goals only matter as much as evaluation. What's more important than expected goals is how many goals you actually finish. Put into the back of the net, put on the scoreboard. Like Chattanooga did earlier today. 3 goals for them against Charlotte. Arthur Rogers with another nice looking service. It'll fall down behind the pile. Hernandez looking to jar some space free. He gets enough to let the cross off, but it's not a desirable cross, and will go out for a Fuego throw. Appreciate you all tuning in to watch this game. Game number 153 of this League One season. And can you believe just 12 more to go in the regular season, and then 5 more playoff games. You can almost count on one hand, though, how many matches, or 2 hands, excuse me, unless you got a hand with 10 fingers. That wasn't what I was referring to. Not a lot of results to be had left. Those spots in the table are becoming more and more solidified, although we only have 1 team that's clinched a playoff spot and 2 that will be unable to get above the playoff line. Sharif Diet is down on the ground. He's back up. Ozzy Ramos trying to keep tension from boiling over here. Sharif Diet not pleased with what's going on. Words exchanged, the foul that was had. He has to get waved back on. We're just talking about the tension and intensity. You've got to keep your cool. Don't want to put your team in a spot where it's harder to win. Rogers with the service headed down. Leo Fola was able to get his head on it, but couldn't put it on frame. As far as Northern Colorado is concerned, they're putting out their best 11. They can't really think about resting players anymore and allowing for recovery. If they're able to play, they're going to play. Martin Vasquez fully aware that that would be the case and that this Northern Colorado side was going to put everything they can on the line for this game. And after dictating the pace early, it's been the Hailstorm that have been hurling chance after quality chance. Para plays it over to the right-hand side for Rogers. Rogers sends the ball in, headed away. Wolfgang Prentice. That's Cheney and Bijev by him. Only the first time we're seeing the ball just getting knocked around in the attacking half for the Hailstorm. Said it, and then it was over. Dye able to get that one out to Smith, and he'll get tripped up and draw the foul. Bijev with a bit of a spin cycle tries to shoot. Now Smith got by 1 defender but couldn't get by Evans, but Dye's out there to recover the ball. Somehow this one's still in the fray. Dye turns, plays it across the center. Cheney tried to lead himself on. And a whistle blows. It's going to be another free kick. And it's Dye once again on the ground. Now he's going to talk to Stevis about these collisions and gets a little handshake. Looking to keep on good terms with the head official. Had a heated moment earlier, but looks to be all good now. Another quality set piece spot. Victor Falk and Christian Cheney have both put it over the crossbar. They packed a punch, but you got to have the accuracy. Will it be Ramos or Cheney? I think we all know who we expect to take this. It's Ramos. It goes off the wall. Cheney with the follow-up. And didn't quite hit that right. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. Although 0-0, both teams have had a handful of chances, 18 combined shots, but only 3 on target, all of which belong to the Hailstorm. Bijev working on Rogers. That's 2 great players going one-on-one. Tried to get it around him, but Rogers was privy to the attempt. Hornsby into the middle. Knocked away easily. At halftime, we're going to take you through the highlights from Week 26, along with Wednesday's bout between Central Valley and North Carolina. Then we'll cover some of the bases just around the league and some of the news that's to be discussed. So while you're getting yourself refreshed during the halftime break, make sure you stay listening in to hear everything you need to know. Hornsby with the move. Plays it back to Bijev. He doesn't really have anywhere to go. He somehow lofts the service up. Norman heads it away. And then that one cleared more effectively. So it hit 45 minutes, and they're only going to get one more. Central Valley will look to have the ball for the rest of the half and conjure up one more opportunity before it goes to break. Long ball going forward. Wolfgang Prentice trying to shake off Hornsby. And that extra minute has expired, and we have concluded our first half of action. Despite both teams knocking on the door, it's a 0-0 between Central Valley and Northern Colorado. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we'll have halftime content coming your way on ESPN+. So do not close your app, close your TV, or whatever you're watching it on. We'll see you there just after this break.
I'm on that real team. I'm on that real team.
Top of season. I mean, yeah, it's time about
Stop
you know
it.
today we're gonna go
Yo.
top.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Halftime between Central Valley and Northern Colorado. Week 26 along with Wednesday have a lot of action to touch base on, so Ryan Rose is waiting at the line to take us through it now. Go ahead, Ryan.
Busy night Saturday, Richmond hosting Central Valley. Fuego has won 2 out of 3 to stay near the playoff line. Here's Jonathan Bolaños to Ethan Bryant. Top of the box, 36th minute. Bryant's third of the season. That is 11 assists for Jonathan Bolaños. That is a Rincon, now the youngest player from an independent club to score a goal. Sam Strong got a red card. He'll sit out Saturday. 2-1 your score. Oh, we got through it. More halftime coming up.
on that real thing. I'm on that real thing.
Goes top of freaking. I mean, yeah, let's talk about.
Stop
you know
it.
Today we're gonna go
Yo.
top.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
And we're off and running. A spot in the League One final on the line. Fires, one, it's in! What a strike from the top of the box!
The USL League One playoffs presented by Hisense are around the corner. After today, we have got just 2 weeks left of regular season action. So as you see, everything's coming down to the wire in USL League One. Just 2 teams eliminated. And Tormenta, as you see at the bottom, have a chance to go all the way up to 2nd place. And we'll talk more about the matchup it will require for them to get 3 points later. So we pivot over to the team of the week. Of course, Breck Evans, with his recent performances, earning himself the player of the week. Alongside him, Christian Cheney, who's been performing very well for Central Valley, also earns himself a spot on the team of the week. Here are the scores. We looked at some of them from the Wednesday game, and then these are the ones that happened today. Didn't go over the highlights. You'll have to check those out on Twitter, YouTube, or wherever you like to peruse for your videos. Well, I mentioned Tormenta. Their game tomorrow is a lone premiere for their Optum Sports Medicine Field, Tormenta Stadium, and they have to play the #1 ranked Richmond Kickers. What a massive game that is, and what better way to open up your new grass field. It's so nice to see USL League One with some more player game League One specific stadiums. And what a match to start it off with. So you see it there, 7:30 Eastern tomorrow. So if you're having your Sunday, be sure to tune into that one on ESPN Plus. And then we get into week 28, starting with the Western Classico between, of course, Central Valley and FC Tucson, which could end up being an elimination game of sorts, depending on how everything falls around them. And as you look at the rest of the slate, it's a lot of fun stuff coming up. I mean, yeah, every game is so important. We're going to step aside. When we come back, highlights and stats will be on the other side.
I'm on that real thing. I'm on that real thing.
Goes top of freaking. I mean, yeah, let's talk about.
Stop
you know
it.
Today we're gonna go
Yo.
top.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Well, I hope you got something done during halftime because Central Valley Fuego have been busy for this entire halftime break. We had a dance-off. We recognized alumni from Fresno Fuego FC for the last 20 years. You see the dance-off. Uh-oh, look at him go. I don't think that the Fox has a chance. Fuego El Fox, to be particular. A lot of fun being had here. And we had quite a bit of action in the first 45 minutes of action. As we look at the El Mexicano halftime highlights. Starting off in just the 4th minute. Northern Colorado breaking down and creating a chance in transition, which, shocker, I know. Marky Hernandez let this one fly and it skated off the mark. Get another peek at it here. Winds in. And at any given moment, so many players on this Hailstorm team can just put their laces through it and zip it towards goal. Here's another look at that. Irvin Parra from even further out. Testing Ophic Antman. Yeah, to fall on top of it and even bobble it a little bit. It's crazy to think about in the first 20 minutes, Central Valley were certainly the side dictating the pace of the game. But all the biggest chances have really fallen to the Hailstorm. Once again, Irvin Parra letting this one fly, trying to create a moment of magic. Oh yeah, Central Valley also had some chances too. This one of the biggest moments, Bijev to Smith to Ramos, off the crossbar, ping, right back. Great build-up, great setup for Ramos to put a good go at goal, and wasn't a bad take. So you look at the halftime stats, and looky there, you see the possession. It's been mainly in favor of Central Valley in that regard. But the fact of the matter is Hailstorm's okay with that as long as they can spring some counterattacks and create some moment of magic. Worth noting, as far as expected goals is concerned, Central Valley's at 0.4, Hailstorm 1.19. But there's both without a goal after 45 minutes. So although one team can tout they created more quality chances, doesn't matter at the end of the day. So here we go, 45 minutes, both sides needing 3 points. I would expect some goals here in the second half. Hammond has his body on it, but it only goes to the center back duo of Francois Dulis and Jordan Chavez. So we do have one substitution. It's for the away side. Danny Robles is coming in for Destin Norman. So a slightly more aggressive midfielder in Robles. And that substitution is brought to you by Dos Equis. Once again, this is the penultimate game for Northern Colorado. Meanwhile, Central Valley has 2 more games after this. Both teams sitting under the playoff line, and even if either team gets 3 points, they will still be under the playoff line. Although Northern Colorado can be tied with the Charlotte Independents, but would still be below them on the wins tiebreaker. That just makes getting 3 points all that more important. So you can't get above the playoff line without several wins. Ardo Robles. And that one gets tackled out, but it comes off of Robles last, so it'll be a goal kick. Slow to get up is Jordan Chavez. The captain returning after his red card suspension on Wednesday. came sliding in and handled that moment nicely, but at the expense of some harm. Yeah, he just came down on that left leg. He's doing all right, though. As you saw a moment ago, the next match for these two teams, kind of a funny coincidence. Both teams' next game is against Tucson. Central Valley will play them on Wednesday, and Northern Colorado will close their season off with Tucson on Saturday. Both sides will have to get a lick at John Perlman's side that nearly saw defeat earlier today for the first time in quite a while, but were able to snatch away a point thanks to Fernando Garcia header off a corner kick. Here's a look at the standings as they sit right now. This is if this result stays the way it is now. If Northern Colorado again gets a victory, they'd go up 2 more points, be tied at 39 with Charlotte. But Charlotte would have the tiebreaker with wins and also would have a game in hand. So for Northern Colorado, I mean, if you're going to be realistic, I think you've got to win both this game and the Tucson game if you're going to have a chance at sitting home the final weekend and still being above the playoff line after everything's said and done. Meanwhile, for Central Valley, 3 games left, a couple less points than Northern Colorado. Although maybe have a slightly more wiggle room, it's only by a marginal amount. Because for them, winning out means 43 points to Northern Colorado's 42. So ultimately, if you're going to make the playoffs, you got to win out if you're either of these teams. So again, as this game wears on, I think you're going to see both sides turn on the jets more and more and more and throw caution to the wind. Because I think both teams also understand that the other side needs 3 points too. So there's got to be a mutual understanding that, well, one of us has to win this game. We're both sinking the ship together. Not that you're going to allow the other team to win, but you got to play with a lot of openness and just let the guys make a play. Here's Rogers. Gets that one deflected off of Hornsby. So you saw the festivities at halftime. It's fan appreciation night. Talking about the fans, Martin Vasquez said they've been very positive and very supportive. Been behind the team from day one. He said they always come, and we know that they're going to show up in throws for this game. And he said our players want to give them 3 points, especially for this final match. Not just because of the implications, but because of an act of gratitude to the fans as they've shown up and shown out throughout the season. Careless touch there from Hornsby. Now he's getting forced into a corner. He somehow gets that one away. Excellent work from him. Norty tried to connect with Prentice, but couldn't find him. Rob Cornwall will play it back to Fola. It's been an up and down season for Northern Colorado, both in the results and also just within, just off the field things like where they're gonna play their home games. They've played at 3 different venues. Been some question as to where on earth was the next venue gonna be at times this season. Made a bit of a run in the Open Cup. including beating an NLS side, Real Salt Lake. Been quite the season. And now they're in desperation mode. And talking about these just ups and downs in the results, we got to talk to the assistant coach, Kevin Sawchak. Eamon Zayed had his hands a little bit busy this week. You can't blame him. It's Prentice. Squares this across to Robles. To the left-hand side for Hernandez. Puts this one in the center. Hornsby heads it away. But it's put right back inside by Robles before it's cleared back again immediately. Talking about the ups and downs of this season, Kevin Sawchak said that it's not easy dealing with the whiplash of results. Consistency as a whole and as individuals has been one of our issues this season. Now here's Rogers. Into the 18 he goes, but he stumbles about, wins the ball back. Now Robles. Over to the left-hand side, Hernandez. Tried to slice that one in, but didn't get very far. That was just a hip check from Nathan Smith, and no foul called. Soccer's a physical sport. And now Francois Dulis is down. I don't know, I think that's a foul from Smith. Meanwhile, Dulis, no contact there in that very moment. But perhaps something lingering. That could not be postponed any longer. So he'll get checked up on. When he's been healthy, he has played. This is his 18th appearance, 18th start. But hasn't always been available to play this season. Also was called for international duty with Haiti earlier this year. Both him and Jordan Chavez key as a center back duo. He'll have to come off the pitch and get waved back on, given the fact that he needed assistance. But at least he's good to go. As I was saying earlier about the consistency problem for Northern Colorado, Coach Sawchak said that although we have gotten better about our consistency as the season's progressed, if you look at our expected goals game by game, it's gotten better and better as the year goes on. And he said some of the variables can't be helped, like the home field situation. He said, but Eamon and myself have, along with the rest of the staff, have been working to provide consistency in everything we can control. And now here's a moment. Cornwall able to escort that ball away and prevent IE from having a chance to break towards goal. Expected goal, a very important stat to this Northern Colorado side. But as I've already emphasized a couple times in this game, expected goal is nice. And it can be a good indicator of how you're playing. It doesn't result in wins, losses. A lot of the time it equates, but not always. Prentice trying to connect with Ammon there. Here's Rogers. He's got Hernandez running. He connects with him. Hernandez chests it down. Nowhere to go with it. He'll play it out wide. Ball zipped across the middle, headed towards goal. I think that one went through. I think it hit the bottom stanchion. The refs having to figure out what just happened there. That looked like it went by Antman and bounced straight back out. Victor Falk was just given a yellow card I really think that this went in for a goal and bounced right back out. Oh, maybe Antman saved it. It's hard to tell. Antman seems to think that he saved it. So it was a save. What an interesting moment. And now on the other end, it's going to be a free kick for Central Valley, and Christian Cheney looking for a card. It's going to be a yellow for Rob Cornwall. Cornwall's 8th yellow card of the season. Here's a look at this foul again. He's not the last defender, but that is a big foul. That ball is was played quite a long ways away from Cheney. I think a yellow card makes sense. But boy, does it not make you wonder. Bijev curls it in, and no one's able to put their boot through it. I mentioned in the first half that Northern Colorado's coming out with their best 11. Some players may be a little bit not at top shape, and now we're going to get a substitution. So Sharif Dai will come out. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, he will. And then so will Victor Falk. So Mohamed Dabo will come in, and Maxi Schenfeld will come in. This is just Dabo's 12th appearance of the season. For Schenfeld, it's his 25th, so a little bit more. These substitutions brought to you by Dos Equis. See what these two can provide to tonight's match. Can they help Central Valley break through and find a goal? Right now, Northern Colorado are the ones creating the chances and making things happen, but it's still 0-0. Gets it over to Schenfeld. That ball is able to find Smith, who sends the cross in for Cheney. But that one played just wide. As I was saying, maybe some tired legs for Northern Colorado in their best 11, but the same can be said for Central Valley, as this one will get played forward. It's Parra on the ball, but Martin Vasquez said that we're going to have lots of tired legs, but everyone's available and we will need them to beat. It's a big game. We've done everything we can to be ready for 95 minutes of action, as this one has to get chased back and it rolls into the back of the net. A disastrous moment for the home side. And Northern Colorado, the visitors, now have the advantage on the road. Oh no. Ofik Antman wasn't ready for that. He saved every shot that's flown his way. But Francois Dulis with just a poor pass back. A self-destructive moment for Central Valley Fuego. Smith will play it out wide. Now Central Valley have to find something. And they need to find it quickly because they can't just accept a draw too with a game-tying goal. Meanwhile, Northern Colorado could put this in a really good spot for them. What a disastrous moment. That's a late challenge. And Irvin Parra, how much you get a card there? He's suffering the consequences of his recklessness too. Irvin Parra, a Californian, back much closer to home than when he's in Northern Colorado. Let's take a look at this goal again. Oh my goodness. There's just a scream of frustration from Francois Dulis. Wow. Daba will walk Irvin Parra off. With the assistance he's needing, I imagine that he's probably going to get subbed out of this game. We'll wait to see if he can get checked up and waved back in if he's good to go. If not, Eamon Zayed will have to look and make his second substitution of the night. And now Northern Colorado's got to be in defensive mode. Of course, they can't just be content with the 1-0 lead, but a 1-0 result is 3 points, and that's all they need. So he's gonna hobble his way back on, look to run it off and stay in this matchup for Northern Colorado. The rest of this game, Central Valley have to do everything right. Martin Vasquez mentioned as a staff that they have to get their starting 11 right, and then it'll be key how they provide their substitutions. Now you're down a goal. That becomes ever more important. And here's a shot trying to catch the keeper off his line. Off target. Evan Sawchak talked about how crazy League One has been this season. And here's Wolfgang Prentice into the 18. Prentice plays it across, and it's parried upward by Antman, and it almost went in anyway. And now we've got a corner kick. Northern Colorado, I don't think they've had a corner kick up to this point. They've had several free kicks. So you look at this moment again. Yeah, this is their first of the night. That slips through the hands of Antman. He does not get that cleanly. You can see the seams starting to fall apart a little bit here for Central Valley. They've got to recuperate before it's too late. And if I'm Northern Colorado, I'm smelling blood in the water and want to make this 2-0 either right now or here soon. Rogers brings it in, but does not reach its target. Bijev with some room to work with. Tries to get it by Prentice, he can't. We're gonna get a foul here, I think on Christian Cheney. So there it is as it stands right now, tied at 39, right by the playoff line. But below on wins. So if this result holds, it'll be 39 points for the Hailstorm, tied with the Independents. And then what they're going to need is they're going to need to ideally win their next game against Tucson and then hope that Charlotte loses against Greenville and then loses against North Carolina. And that's the tough part, though, because I think you can road trip to Greenville, you can assume at least that it's not an outrageous thing to hope that Charlotte would lose at Greenville. Of course, it's not exactly a surefire bet. Charlotte have been a team that have clicked random games and have made things happen. Cerritos brings it forward. Still weaving, going over to Schenfeld. Plays it across, nearly connecting with Cheney. They need that response, and that's a good first step. We're gonna get another substitution. So Jerry Daydew will come in, and he'll take Marky Hernandez's spot, which will possibly result in some reshaping, because I don't think Daydew's gonna do too much in the middle, though Hernandez has played out wide for a lot of this game, so maybe the roles aren't as different as one might initially assume. The substitution brought to you by Dos Equis. Hernandez picked up something while he was on the pitch, and our official, Brandon Sevis, has a card ready. Doesn't like the amount of time it's taking for Hernandez to get to the sideline. And there it is. That's his 6th yellow card of the season. Arthur Rogers gets hit in the face, and that's going to be a yellow card for Maxi Schenfeld, his 8th yellow card of the season. I was talking about it earlier, about the scenario that Northern Colorado finds themselves in now, should this result hold. I think Charlotte losing at Greenville is not the least unlikely thing, but then it's Charlotte hosting North Carolina SC, a team that's already eliminated. That's where the ticker is going to be. Because if they get 3 points, then they would be tied with Northern Colorado in theory should they win the Tucson game, which they kind of need to. They would be tied at 42, and the Independents would have the tiebreaker on wins. So they need Charlotte to lose and drop points in the other game. Whichever order, it doesn't really matter. Or draw both games, as long as Northern Colorado wins this game and beats Tucson. I mean, we're going through every single scenario, but just trying to, for you Hailstorm fans at home, we're trying to do the mental gymnastics of what comes next. First and foremost, you got to get 3 points here, and you got to get 3 points at home against Tucson, which at some points of the season may have seemed more doable than it does now, because Tucson, well, they haven't let teams get but so many points recently. Only allowing a draw at best since the month of September started. That one rolled out. It'll be a goal kick for Central Valley. One of the things that Central Valley was focused on coming into this game, Martin Vasquez said that we want to focus on how we establish ourselves at the key points of every single match, the key moments. He said, are we strong after the whistle? Are we strong 10 minutes before the whistle? How are we responding after going a goal up or going a goal down? Cerritos, he loses his footing there and ultimately loses the ball. Can they respond now, down a goal, especially with how that goal came to be? Meanwhile, on the Hailstorm side of things, they know they have to win, and it totally adds to the pressure. They're going to acknowledge it and handle it as Bijev takes this shot. Bijev with a second go, and it's wide. Kevin Sawchuk said that our staff, our players, we all 100% understand that it's crunch time. It's now. You have to get wins. Can't have any excuses. Can't have any games where you just concede that you weren't the better team or you didn't get the result you were looking for. You have to, or else the season's over. And they've got the lead. 15 minutes left. Although that lead was gifted to them. That's the game, man. You're on Fan Appreciation Night. This home side needs those fans now more than they ever have this season. This one slipping through. A chance to really put this one in a good place. Prentice gets taken down, no whistle. There's still hope for Central Valley. Can Irvin Parra and company extinguish that fire now? That one played behind Prentice. Maxie Schenfeld just walking away from that play. Cerritos with his arms out. Maybe a little bit indignant at the lack of energy being shown there. More sense of urgency being needed right now. Hornsby with some room to operate. Plays it back to Dabo. Ramos spins about, sends it forward, headed away by Cornwall. Now Ammon sets Daydew free. Jerry Daydew into the 18, plays it to Ammon. Ammon shoots, it goes off the back of Parra. Bout of bad luck there. Again, 2 more substitutions for Northern Colorado. Owen Dom is coming in for Rob Cornwall. Meanwhile, Trevor Ammon will make way for Lachlan McLean. We'll look to see this one through to the end and maybe tack on a second goal to really put this one in a great spot for Northern Colorado. These substitutions brought to you by Dos Equis. Then comes Owen Dom, 19-year-old defender from Louisville, Kentucky. On loan from Lou City. Look to see that his side holds the line and keeps things clean. Here's Ramos to Hornsby, but there is a wall of jerseys between him and Johan Peñaranda. Antman cheating further forward, and he has to. Cheney out. Slips it to Hornsby, who tries to connect it through to Bijev.
We gotta say congratulations to Brett Zoll. Brett Zoll, you won a brand
Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Plus, hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Ten more minutes to go. 2 more substitutions for Martin Vasquez's side. Diego Casillas in, along with William Gillingham. So Dulis will come out. So will Ozzy Ramos. These substitutes brought to you by Dos Equis. Everything plus the kitchen sink time for Central Valley. They're not eliminated with a loss here, but it puts them in dire straits. That one nearly slips through to Prentice, who has been a busy player today and has had several chances to get his first League One goal. Hasn't quite happened yet, though. Cheney finds Bijev, but the flag will go up. Nearly connecting there, but timing not quite good enough. There have been 27 combined shots in this game, and the only reason there's a score on the board is not because of a shot at all. Won't make a difference to Ayman Zayed's side if the result holds. But it is worth acknowledging. that was a bit overzealous from Leo Fola. Just crashing down on Cheney. Bijev gonna switch it over to Casillas. Here's Dabo. Gillingham. Over to Hornsby. He provides service, but it's too deep. Peñaranda is able to take it, fall on top of it, kill some more moments off the clock. The drumming and the chanting and the stomping has not ceased. As you see there, this week is not yet over. Tomorrow, we've got Tormenta in Richmond in the opening of the new stadium at Statesboro. It's supposed to happen today, but they pushed it back a day with weather concerns. Ian Cameron's side looking to jump all the way up to third place with 3 points, but they'll have to do it against the top-seeded Richmond Kickers. Schenfeld swings this one in the middle. The header goes over the crossbar, off the frame, and it'll remain 1-0. Despite a good effort there from Central Valley. Now we have a player slow to get up on Northern Colorado's side. Good ball from Schenfeld, and Cheney got there, just couldn't bring it down far enough. One more substitution. Zaire Vasquez coming in for Michael Hornsby. Another Dos Equis substitution, and that's the last one. Hornsby out. Fullback coming in, a forward in Vasquez. You don't need me to tell you what that means. It's going to be a yellow card for Mohamed Dabo, his third of the season. Diego Casillas not happy with how long this is taking. You know the clock is ticking in his head. Norty. So Norty's up. The Englishman spent a lot of time playing in the Scottish Championship, which is where Eamon Zayed was able to scout and pull a lot of his talent, including the likes of his captain, Rod Cornwall, who has found his way to the bench. That one going off of the official, so that'll call for a drop ball. couple minutes tacked on in added time. Again, it's really about 3 points. Northern Colorado has it in its clutches in the moment. Ball swings in. And it's going to be a goal kick. I think Diego Casillas was under the impression it was going to be a corner. Let that one roll out. Jackson Dietrich going to make his way in now for his 11th appearance of the season. And that's the final substitution for Ayman Zayed's side. Prentice will come out. Had several chances to try and get his first League One goal. They were not to be. And Dietrich, the German, will come in his place and look to be another wheel that turns this game over to its final whistle without any more goals being tacked on. McLean heads it on for Deju. But the offside flag keeps that from going anywhere. Vasquez plays it back to Schenfeld. This one pinged back in. Cerritos makes a move. Cerritos plays it over to Casillas. Casillas gives it a go. Still up in the air. Cheney gets it through the hands. But they're going to say that he interfered with the keeper. A foul on Christian Cheney. I mean, you could go up for the ball, but just like any other player, you can't just ram into them. It's tough to see what happened from that angle, because from that perspective, it seems like a fair go at the ball for Cheney. As we see 6 minutes. McLean heads it back to Irvin Parra. Parra tracks it down. Still Parra with it. He takes the shot and deflects off the substitute. It'll go out for another Northern Colorado throw. Rogers will mosey his way over there for the throw. Dietrich will camp it in the corner. It's going to be another Hailstorm throw. Okay. Like I said earlier, for Northern Colorado, obviously, you've won in the expected goals battle. You didn't necessarily earn the goal that was given, but 3 points is 3 points. You don't really complain about it. Meanwhile, for Central Valley, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow unless they can find something here in the closing moments of this match. They've still got over 4 minutes. That's ample time. Robles to Dietrich. Now Deju takes a cut, goes again. Deju shoots, and it's off the mark. Vasquez, it's his 4th appearance with Central Valley, all of which off the bench. He's only played about 30 minutes total. Bijev out to Schenfeld. There's letting the smoke go now. And Antman, once again, he's going to have to start coming forward. And he just gets that one away before Parra able to bear down on him and steal the ball away. Well, you want to make sure you don't waste the smoke you bought. We got 2 players down. The ref will wave on some help. Worth noting, substitutions have all been used. Let's take a look at this again. I don't know how that's a foul on Central Valley. Cerritos was the one who was stationary. Fuego was the one who was crashing in on that moment, but you do see everything from this side, though, of the pitch. Sometimes the action is, you just see it from the bench's perspective, then you can get a clearer picture. Under 2 minutes to go, but we'll see how much extra time Brandon Stevis tacks on here. Evans will just float that one high into the sky. Gillingham gets that one forward to Bijev. Smith with the service in the middle. Cheney tries to bring it down. Cheney and Zaire Vasquez, who are both around the ball. Cheney was closer to it. Vasquez was sliding in on the other side of him. That realization starting to creep in for Central Valley. Robles, Tapara, Deju. Play this over to the corner. Go out for a goal kick. Now we're just getting to the discretion of our head official for how much left there is in this game. Central Valley truly going to be in dire straits once that whistle blows. Dom gets tripped up. That's going to be a booking. Nathan Smith will get his 7th yellow card. Brandon Stevis logging in all the bookings that he's had to issue out here today. The beautiful game can be cruel, and today its victims were Central Valley. Meanwhile, the benefactors of a disastrous moment are Northern Colorado. Johan Peñaranda will collect his 5th clean sheet of the season. And in a game where both teams needed 3 points, the visiting side, Hailstorm, will come in, take 3, and take the series in this Ice and Fire Cup, as it's being dubbed, between these two brand new League One sides. In year 2022, it'll be them who will collect that title for now. We're going to step aside for a moment. We'll give post-game thoughts after this break. We'll see you then here on ESPN+.
I mean, yeah, let's talk about
Stop
today.
it.
Today where I'm gonna go
Yo.
topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
In a must-win fixture, it is Northern Colorado going on the road and taking all 3 points to keep their hopes and their ambitions for the USL League One playoffs presented by Hisense in good favor. 1-0 your final score here. My name is Mark Schoenstert. Let's take a look at how everything transpired in this game. I'll say this, in the first half, the chances came, and there were a couple of good ones. Full-time highlights brought to you by El Mexicano, but in the second half was where, of course, the difference would be had. This service just getting by. There's a two-handed save from Ofik Antman here. For a moment, I believed it came off the back stanchion, but I think it went off one hand and then went straight to the other. Excellent effort from the keeper there, Ofik Antman, to keep this one 0-0. But then it was only a couple moments later. Just catastrophic. Francois Dulis hits the ball wrong. Ofik Antman is playing support between the two of them, not by the goal, and could not get back in time. And that's the difference. I mean, I don't have words to describe the tragic nature of how this game has unfurled. Northern Colorado, to their credit, their expected goals was 1.26 to Central Valley's 0.57. They surely had several chances that were the closest to scoring in this game, but they didn't score. It was a moment of pure disaster from Central Valley, and that's a bitter pill to swallow. I mean, there's no other way to put it. And that does it for today's action in USL League One. Here's the scoreboard from the matches today and from the middle of the week. 2 draws, and then 2 wins for 2 teams that really needed it. Chattanooga and Northern Colorado. Chattanooga now in a much better spot, in Northern Colorado knocking on the door to the playoffs too. As we see the standings here, neither team eliminated in this game with a loss, but Central Valley, I mean, the numbers are not in their favor. Their max points are at 40, which means they need some certain teams to lose out. And then here's the schedule coming up for this next week, but also tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern. Tormenta opens up their new stadium against the Richmond Kickers. Gonna be appointment television if you're a League One fan. You're gonna want to tune into that one. Some major implications in the standings. Maybe less so about who makes the playoffs, but where they're going to stand. But that does it for us here tonight. Hope you enjoyed this broadcast. It was an interesting one, but it's Northern Colorado who will go away with 3 points, one way or another, for our entire broadcasting crew. My name is Mark Schoenstert. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you have a fantastic night, and we'll see you next time on ESPN+.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.